There comes a point in time for every foreigner when the shine wears off. The temples blur together, the food is not an adventure anymore, and the chaos that once felt exciting just feels loud and annoying. That's when the reality hits you. You're not on vacation, you're living here. Most foreigners never make the mental shift. They spend years in Thailand, still acting like tourists, drifting from coffee shops to beer bars, whining about the heat, bureaucracy, whining about the women, wondering why life doesn't feel stable. And the problem really isn't Thailand, it's them. So let's talk about what separates a tourist or a short-term visitor from someone who truly lives here, someone who is a real expat. Now, tourists come to consume, not to contribute. They stay in their own comfort zone, Sukhumvit, Patong, Chiang Mai, Old Town, surrounded by other foreigners. Their world is filtered through English menus, grab rides, hotel staff who smile and say yes to everything. They expect Thailand to cater to them, to be cheap, convenient, and westernized. And when things go wrong, they react like customers. Why is it like this? Why can't they fix it? Thailand isn't a theme park. It's a country with its own logic, pace, and most importantly, its culture. A real expat learns this. The tourist may not care or never does learn it. Now, there's the guy who's been here for years but still hasn't settled, and that is the long stayer. He knows every visa run trick and every bar girl scam, but he's not really grounded. That's part of the transition. He's comfortable, but he's not really content. He floats through life convincing himself he's free, but he really just is avoiding responsibility. No roots, no purpose, just routine. And that's not really freedom, that's drifting. And I can tell you, I went through this stage in the beginning. The long-term stayer lives on autopilot. He's not really building anything. He's not building relationships, no stability, no really self-respect, if you want to put it that way. He is just existing in a permanent layover. Now, being a real expat isn't about how long you've been here or what visa you hold. It's about your mindset. And that is what people have a hard time understanding. And a real expat wakes up knowing, this is my home. Maybe not forever, but for now, he lives like it is his home, not a break from it. Here's what sets him apart. He understands how Thailand works. He knows when to talk, when to stay quiet, and when to read the situations and how to read them. He respects the system. You don't have to agree with every rule, and I don't, but you need to learn to function inside the rules. He learns the language. He doesn't have to become fluent, but he just learns enough to handle himself, to talk to people, and earn a little bit of respect. Now, I got a message the other day from a guy who said, I live in the center of Phuket, where most people speak a little English. My Thai wife speaks English, and she's always with me, so I don't need to speak Thai. Quite frankly, that's ridiculous. So his wife follows him everywhere. I mean, listen, that would drive me nuts. No privacy, no independence. You got to have your wife with you to do everything. Oh, God. I can do anything in Thailand. I don't need my wife with me. I can talk to anybody. I can go anywhere. And that's because I speak Thai. I don't speak it perfectly, but I can speak it. I can read it. I can do a lot of things. And I get by just fine. Okay, if I don't know how to say certain words, then I either learn them or I get by doing a roundabout. I use another phrase or something else and I get by just fine. And this is the difference between some dim-witted farang who wants to drag along his wife or have her drag him along and a real expat. I can go anywhere in Thailand, whether they speak Thai or not. It doesn't matter. One depends on his wife as a tour guide, and the other stands on his own. Unbelievable. A real expat adapts. Thailand isn't the West, and trying to force it to be will only make you miserable. An expat builds something lasting, maybe a business, a family, or just a healthy routine, but something that gives his life shape and meaning. A real expat doesn't chase novelty. He finds peace in small things. That could be his local market, his morning coffee, the noodle lady who knows his order. He's not escaping life anymore. He's living it. And that's the thing. When you travel, sometimes you're not there to do anything in particular. You should be there to live. You got to live a little bit. Now, most foreigners never reach that point because they are stuck in tourist mode. They explode when things don't go their way. They hang out with other people who complain. They mock Thai culture, but they don't really realize just how ignorant they sound. And Thais notice everything. They notice how you treat the staff, and whether you say "kap kun kap" with a smile, and even every bad-tempered Farang reinforces the stereotype that foreigners are arrogant and impatient. And if you want to be treated with respect, then you need to act like someone who deserves it. The first year in Thailand is a honeymoon. Everything is new. The second year, reality hits. The noise, the traffic, the corruption, the dual pricing. Maybe it starts to grind on your nerves. The third year will decide your future. You either adapt or you burn out and you run home. If you can accept Thailand for what it is, unpredictable, imperfect, sometimes frustrating, but still amazing, you move from tourist to resident. You stop comparing it to your home country and start saying, this is how things are. That's maturity, and that's the real expat mindset. Now, I've said something for a long time, and that is, I don't really care about what goes on back home as long as it doesn't severely affect me. Because I live here. It's important. I live here. I don't live anywhere else. And I've said this a million times. I've been here. It's coming up on a half of my life that I've been here. You can't live in vacation mode forever, and the guys who last here build habits that make sure that their life is balanced. They have a routine. Even in retirement, maybe you get up early, you don't sleep in until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You do something productive. You budget wisely. Thailand is only cheaper if you are living somewhat intelligently. You got to follow the exchange rates and inflation because they can change fast. This country, if you let it, will destroy your body. The booze, the late nights, junk food, even Thai food, too much Thai food. But if you stay somewhat fit, somewhat healthy, and you're somewhat disciplined, you're going to be okay. You got to keep learning about the culture, the history, the people, and curiosity keeps you alive. I've seen people living in little rinky-dink apartments. I'm talking about foreigners. They live in a rinky-dink apartment. They go out every day, and they're in like the same ratty shorts every day that they go out. And then they go back and sit in their room all day long. That's all they do every day. Living here long-term is about balance, comfort without laziness, freedom without stupidity. Life is also about acceptance without surrender. There's also the emotional side that no one talks about. You lose your old identity. I'm much different than I was when I lived back in the U.S. I think I'm a lot more mature, and obviously because I've grown in 30 plus years, but just the way I think, the way I act, I've been changed by this place. Your home country becomes distant, and most friends, they can't relate to you, and the news back home becomes irrelevant, as I just said. Now, another thing, and I told this to a subscriber on the channel, I said, listen, once you've been here for a while, you may have 25 friends back home, but guess what? 20 of them will probably just drop off. You won't talk to them again. You lose touch with them. You might have a couple. I got a handful of friends that I keep in touch with back in the States. And that's it. And you will never fully belong here. But guess what? That doesn't really matter. You're in the middle. You're not Thai. You're not really Western anymore. You're an outsider everywhere. But if you can accept this without bitterness, then you've reached the next level. Being a real expat is about finding peace in that middle ground. Now, Thailand runs on reputation. Word travels fast, the coconut telegraph, and foreigners are under a spotlight. Every week it's another story. An Israeli arrested in Phuket, a Russian brawl, an Aussie stealing, a Chinese involved in a scam, an American ranting when he shouldn't be. These idiots don't ruin their own lives, they damage how all of us are seen. The real expat knows his behavior reflects on every foreigner who lives here. And if you can't control your mouth, your drinking, or your temper, Thailand is going to chew you up and spit you out. But if you act with humility and self-control and respect, the country will reward you with more respect and opportunity than you have probably ever had back home. Now, once you settle into life here, you stop chasing, you stop comparing, you stop needing the constant excitement. You learn to get by with the little things. You begin to appreciate what Thailand really offers: simplicity, warmth, humanity. And I'm not saying it's perfect here, but a sense of calm that you can't buy is here. Unlike anywhere else, in my opinion. You're no longer performing, you are living. And that is the hidden reward of becoming a real expat. Peace of mind. Man, I got plenty of peace of mind. And you know what? It doesn't cost me anything. That's it. You finally understand that freedom isn't about doing whatever you want. It's about not needing to anymore. I don't have to do whatever I want. I got plenty of wants. But do I really need some of them? No, I don't. Becoming a real expat in Thailand isn't about the paperwork or the years lived. It's about personal evolution. You let go of some of your control. You drop your arrogance and you start adapting instead of complaining. And you stop asking, why is Thailand like this? And start asking, how can I make this work? How can I live in the confines of these rules? And that's when you stop being a tourist and start being part of the fabric of the country. Some people don't care. Now, I did care. I wanted to integrate. But some people, they stop being a tourist and they're no longer a guest. They are someone who belongs quietly and respectfully and independently. And when that day comes, if it comes, you will know. You'll walk down your street, you'll hear the language, you'll see the chaos and think, yeah, I'm home.